Hi YouTube! So lately my husband and I have been watching a lot of fertility stories on YouTube about just couples and their struggles with infertility and their journeys with in vitro or adoption or whatever they decided to pursue. My husband and I have been married for 4 years. We pretty much instantly knew that we wanted children, so we've been trying ever since then with not much luck, and I thought that I could start a page as just a way to vent and to connect with other people going through similar things. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my husband and I's background. We've been married 4 years this month, the 18th, and we've been trying since we got married for a baby. We pretty much both knew that we instantly wanted to try. Looking back, I think, probably wouldn't have been the best thing to have a child right after getting married, but I'm so glad that we tried right away because then I wouldn't have known that it wouldn't have been so easy. So we've tried for a really long time. Since we started trying, we went active duty military. We've had a lot of life changes, a lot of changes within our marriage. So we tried probably for 2 years before we ever actually went to see someone about it. And they did all the normal tests first. They tested my hormones. They put me on some Clomid. To them, they didn't understand why we would be having these problems because they, tested my husband, of course, and he was good to go. And all my hormone levels, everything was so spot on that they just said, you're young, your hormone levels are really good, your cycles are really good. If anything, you should be getting pregnant. So they wanted us to do something called a hysterosalpingogram, where they insert dye into your uterus, maybe, and they check to see if your fallopian tubes are open. So we finally, after a little bit of coaxing, had that done. I was scared because I had Googled it and read a lot of horror stories. Women, do yourself a favor when going through these kind of things and just trust the doctors and don't get yourself hyped up over it. I'm a really big control freak. I like to know what's going on. So when they say they're going to do something, I instantly jump on the internet and I start researching. And everything I researched on the dye test was saying, it was the most excruciating test of my life. It was so horrible. Honestly, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't unbearable. I have to have it done again, and I'm not that worried about it. So they did that test. My tubes were blocked. And it was really hard for me to hear that because for some reason I had a feeling that that's what it was going to be. And it was. So immediately I pushed for laparoscopic surgery so that they could get in there, look around, try to unblock my tubes a little, make sure everything else was okay. So a few weeks later, I had the laparoscopic surgery done, and they said that it looked like that I had endometriosis at one point, but that I didn't anymore. Everything was kind of connected by scar tissue. My tubes were really, really dilated and really damaged. Really damaged. So my doctor said that he did the best that he could to unblock them, but that because they were so dilated and so damaged, he was very worried about me getting an ectopic pregnancy. So he said, you're young. I'm 27, and he said, you're young, and you and your husband can try for a while and see how that works. So maybe try for a while, maybe save some money for in vitro, and we'll check back periodically, and we'll figure it out from there. So at this point, we were just very burnt out with trying. We had tried and tried and tried and tried, literally with no glimmer of hope, no positive pregnancy test, no indication of pregnancy, nothing. So we tried Probably off and on. We didn't consistently try every month. We were both just kind of beat, very emotionally drained. So we just said, we're just going to take a little break because we need to not worry about babies, not worry about having a baby. So probably for a year after that surgery, we saved some money. We didn't worry about it a whole lot. I mean, I can't explain to you how hard it was after the surgery when they told me, your chances of conceiving naturally are not great. I mean, they wouldn't put a specific number with it. They wouldn't, give me how good are your chances. They just said, not great, but it could happen. So very vague. And I just knew that it wasn't going to. I mean, and I was very scared of the tubal pregnancy. So I kind of we chilled. I mean, we tried a little bit, but not like we had been doing before because we were both just so exhausted at this point with it. And I really needed just time to not think about babies because it hit me really hard all the times that we'd been trying, and I felt really hopeless at this point. So we spent about a year just not really worrying about it a whole lot. And we wanted in vitro, but because the price can be anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 per cycle, we knew that, it could be a long time before we have that much money. So we knew we would probably want to get it done, by the time we were 30, if not before that. We didn't know how we would go about saving that much money because we didn't want to just use our entire savings. So we prayed about it, cried about it. We just didn't know when we would be able to do it. So we made a decision just to trust God because we both feel that, we are supposed to be parents. I mean, we both had kind of a rough upbringing. Family is very important to us. To have a big family of our own, or even just one child of our own, is so important to us. And we were just leaving it to God. And then suddenly, January of this year, my husband's work just started to really kick off. I mean, he was bringing home paychecks 4 times as big as what he would normally make. And it was just, it was crazy how fast we were able to put money in savings. I mean, the 4 years that we've been married, his checks had never been like this. And after a couple of months, we had enough for a cycle of in vitros, and we're just, over the moon excited. I mean, it just feels like there's definitely a reason why we've been so blessed lately, and I'm so happy that we have enough to do a cycle of in vitro. So that's where we are now. We met with a specialist the other day, and we had our consult for in vitro, and he said that I'm sorry because I'm not really great with a lot of the medical terms. I just explained it in my own way, but he said that he needed to do another hysterosalpingogram, which is the dye test where they check to see if your tubes are open, because he wants to see if they actually did open my tubes enough, if they're actually still open and flowing, or if they're blocked still, because he says if they're blocked, then they can be building up fluid, which would kill an embryo if they implanted it, or there's a high likelihood that it would. So after my next cycle starts, I am going to call and have that scheduled, and we're going to have another dye test done. And if the tubes look bad, that he wouldn't feel comfortable doing the in vitro, then we are going to schedule the surgery to have my tubes taken out, which at this point I'm just so excited that we're going to be able to do in vitro that really I could care less about the surgery. Obviously, I hope that the tubes are okay, because it feels at this point that we've been waiting so long to get pregnant that I just want to get pregnant right now. I mean, now that I know it's possible and we have the money to do it, I can't wait to actually be able to do it. So, not really concerned if no! Not really concerned if I have to have the in vitro. I mean, if I have to have the surgery to have the tubes taken out, I just want to get it done so that we can get started as soon as possible. Another thing I thought was really cool is that we were really excited to go to this infertility clinic because they are responsible for 85% of the successes in the United States, this clinic, and it just seems like it's a really good team of doctors. I mean, they have a lot of success. They've been doing it for a long time, and I thought this was really cool. We went in and they had bracelets in a jar, and it said, you know, take one and return it when you become pregnant. And this is the name of their clinic, the firm. It's the Florida Institute of Reproductive Medicine. It says fertility, hope. And it's just like a neat little thing. Like, I was excited. My husband and I both took one, and we both said that we were going to wear it until we got pregnant. I'm just excited. It just makes me excited to look at it and know that soon we could be pregnant, or I don't know. It just makes me feel really hopeful. This has been such a crazy bad year with the fertility stuff, to where I just felt very hopeless a lot of the time. I look around on Facebook and with my friends, and a lot of them, they have babies or they're pregnant right now. It's very tough to look at when you want a child so badly. So I like the little bracelets. I look at it at work or whenever, and it just gives me just makes me feel good knowing that, you know, our time is coming. I feel very hopeful, and I feel like this is going to work. I feel like the first cycle is going to work. I think you have to feel positively about it, or it definitely won't work. So I just wanted to start this page because I've really enjoyed looking at other people's stories, and I'll just sit and watch videos on YouTube, and I will literally pick a page and watch their videos from start to finish because I'm so excited to see when it finally works, when they finally get their baby, and, you know, I just can't wait for that to happen for us. So, oh, I didn't even say it. My name is Brittany. My husband's name is Joe. I'm a surgical tech, and he's a general contractor. You know, we're just pretty average young people just trying to start our family. So I just thought you guys might want to follow along. And, you know, hopefully these videos get a little better because I'm not going to lie, I feel kind of awkward talking to my computer screen. So thanks for watching.